Hello, class, and Dr. Sanchez. My name is Clarence Allen. Welcome to my graduate research project presentation on human resource and ethical responsibilities at MGT University. Introduction. The Human Resource Management Department has a role in the ethics and the social responsibilities of an organization. The HR department sometimes shows slow response to ethical issues raised in an organization. The HR professionals see their role as ethical stewardship to the organization. A number of factors limit and prohibit the execution of ethical responsibilities of the HR professionals. Organizations experience ethical issues daily, and thus the HR professionals should often resolve ethical issues within the organization. Problem statement. It is a common scenario in an organization that there are several ethical and social responsibility issues arising every day. In an organizational setting, the ethical and social responsibility belongs to each and every person who should make sure that all is done well and thus the objectives of the organizations are not compromised. However, ethical and social responsibility lies on the Human Resource Management Department within the organization. The HR professionals should take charge and resolve any of the arising ethical and social issues within the organization. It is also important to understand the scope of the HR professionals in dealing with the ethical and the social issues within the organization. The common concern in organizations is the persons and the department that is in charge of the ethical and the social responsibilities within the organization. In addition, the organization is concerned with the ethical direction that the relevant department should take in regards to the ethical and social responsibility. Hypothesis statement. The human resource management professionals should take the role of resolving the ethical issues arising daily within their organizations. The HR professionals define the direction of the ethical responsibility they should take within the organization based on the issues that are rising daily. Limitations of the study. The research was conducted on a very small population size or the organization size, and thus the findings might not be a representation of a large group of persons per se. Time constraint made it hard for the researchers to access several organizations. It is unavoidable that in this study, certain degree of subjectivity can be found. The variance in the HR organizational role is not sufficient for the researcher to observe the role of the HR on ethical and social responsibility. The population of study is fixed and seems not to respond based on the research concern. Financial constraint to facilitate movements. Poor network coverage limited effective communication. Research methodology. This is a qualitative and quantitative research, thus a mixture of methodologies were used for the study. Literature reviews, questionnaires, surveys, observations, interviews, publication research, qualitative data analysis, and quantitative data analysis. Literature review. The ethical role and the social responsibilities of the human resource management professionals is to play a role in maintaining the ethical and social responsibility within the organization. Organizational and environmental issues hinder the HR's role in playing the ethical and social responsibility roles. HR professionals in local and international organizations face challenging ethical and social issues. HR professionals need to have ethical stewardship. HR professionals face difficulties and challenges and fulfill their roles. The HR professionals face existing competing tensions and perceptions of their roles within the organization. The organizations handle the ethical and the social responsibility through modeling of ethical behavior by executives. The organizations adopt open ways of surfacing organizational values and building the HR procedures. The organizational ways aid the socially responsible actions that helps to achieve ethical and social responsibility. Discrimination is a common scenario in the organization. Gross negligence is also a common ethical issue within the organization. Sometimes leaders fail to make comprehensive investigation. Shambolic investigations result into negligence. Side deals are a part of the ethical issues common within organizations. Employees should attract customers for the organization and not for themselves or for rivals. Partnerships are often betrayed when one partner feels the other cannot handle some businesses, then diverts them away. The environment of human resources management. The HR of an organization is made up of people who perform the activities of the organization. All decisions affecting workforce concerns the HRM. The HRM concerns the personnel policies, managerial practices, and the systems influencing workforce. Human resources management in organizations. The role of the human resource management in an organization is classified into three main categories. Staffing. The HRM recruits, interviews, and hires employees. The employee compensation. The HRM determines the amount of salary that every employee earns. Benefits. The HRM is in charge of the employee's benefits as well as any other compensation. Human resources strategy and planning. The HRM identifies current and future needs of the organization to achieve its objectives and goals. The HR planning is a link between the HRM and the strategic plan of the organization. The HR strategies and plans include, but not limited to, work design and classification, recruitment and selection, performance management, learning and development, career development and management succession, rewards and recognition, organizational development, and HR information management. Equal employment opportunity. One of the major roles of the HRM in an organization is staffing, and this entails advertising of opportunities, interviews, shortlistings, hiring, and recruiting. The HRM ensures equal opportunities based on academic qualifications, work-related experience, job requirements, the compensation. All these factors are considered regardless of the age, gender, race, sexuality, and origin. This is with the intention to offer equal employment opportunity. Workforce, jobs, and job analysis. The workforce profile include the labor force participation rate, which describes the number of people working or looking for jobs. The necessary skills includes age, generational groups, skill gaps, improving readiness to work, and skills shortages. And nature of work and job include the effort towards achieving the goals, the grouping of tasks and responsibilities, as well as study of the way work moves in the organization. Organizational relations and retention and recruiting. The HRM of an organization works hard to retain the best employees as well as recruit or hire the very best employees. Some of the retention strategies used by the HRM includes better salaries and treatment. The HRM in organizations use good compensation as a strategy to retain employees. On the same note, attracting new employees also requires the use of better strategies such as promising job security as well as better treatment. Labor markets. Organizations have specific markets where they shop for good employees, and these include universities and colleges for fresh graduates or students on internships, partnership with research and learning institutions, other companies, and government institutions. Selecting human resources. The strategic procedure developed by the HRM, implemented by the organization when recruiting, evaluating, and hiring new employees. The process of selections starts when jobs are posted internally and externally. Training human resources. The organization seeks to improve the performance and efficiency. Employees are subjected to processes of training and development. The HRM department oversees the process. The HRM rewards employees based on their ability to complete the required training. The HRM promotes employees and reshuffles based on the results of training and development. Talent, careers, and development. Talent careers are identified in doing what a person is an expert in. Senior leadership is put in front and at the center. Building on accountability, driving career development into the organization, empowering and supporting managers, and no need to settle for halfway measures. Performance management. Performance measurement improves and promotes the employee effectiveness. PM is a continuous process. Managers and employees work together to plan, monitor, and review the work done by an employee. The work done is measured against objectives and goals of the employee as well as the employee's overall contribution to the organization. Total reward: better payment, compensation for overtime and an increased allowance, promotions on the basis and criteria of hard work, improvement of the working conditions, like employees are given good and better apartments and given personal cars. Variable pay and executive compensation. Employee compensation and payment varies based on position and qualifications. Managers are remunerated differently, and that is often based on the discretion of the shareholders and the board of directors. The company executives are paid highly because they perform supervisory roles within the organization. Employee benefits. Employees will often benefit from the compensation that are given, such as overtime payments. The HRM organizes the role of the employees and the benefits that they are entitled to as part of the company regulations. Employee benefits are used to motivate and encourage employees to work even harder. Benefits are commonly offered to those people that are outstanding in their roles. Risk management. The organizational risk management process depends on the presence of the project level risk management. Risk management provides mechanism for surfacing and managing risk that transcend or are shared across projects. Risk management training includes risk assessment, risk categorization, entrance factor, the rule, as well as the score and rationales. The principles of risk management. The process should create value. The process should be an integral part of the organization. Should factor in overall decision-making process. Effectively address uncertainty. Systematic and structured, and be based on best available information. Employee rights. Part of the organizational, ethical, and social concerns addressed by the HRM is the employee rights. Right to better and fair treatment, right to protection against injuries, right of compensation based on work done, right to be heard, right to protest unfair treatment, and right to change place of employment. Union management relations. Employees are protected by the workers' union and organizations that voices their opinions. The relationship between employees is encouraged and so that they give one another the necessary support. The role of HRM is to create a harmonized relationship and communication between employees and the executives. Recommendations. Empirical studies require time and proper facilitation. The use of primary data for research is at times not so much convenient, and thus relying on past data in a changing world could be misleading. The research should be allocated sufficient time for conclusive results and findings. The impact of ethics and social responsibility on the 21st century workforce. The ethics and social responsibilities in the 21st century has impacted the workforce in the most essential way. The growth of globalization has led to the increase in the very worst cases of unethical behaviors such as gross negligence, the increased efforts of diverting employees from the company to other personal businesses. There is an increase in discrimination in the workplace. Majority of the men employed will prefer working with fellow men, and so is the case for women. The 21st century workplace and the workforce is composed of diverse personalities, and thus the ethical and social recommendations implemented have been working well. Conclusion. The HRM assumes the ethical and social responsibility within the organization. The organizational and environmental issues supports or hinders the role of the HR professionals in maintaining ethical and social responsibility. The HR professionals work in challenging environments and faces a number of ethical issues. The HRM faces competing scenarios that makes it difficult for them to handle the ethical and social issues. The 21st century workforce is affected by the ethical issues such as discrimination, unfaithfulness, and workplace among other unethical roles played by the partners in the businesses. The 21st century organizations are largely influenced and impacted by the behavior of the employees as well as the management of the organization. The 21st century company performs better because of the strict rules and regulations regarding ethical and social responsibilities.